Good afternoon, everybody. Shavua Tov. Welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Raylene Marks, your host, and today we have a special report for you. We are going to be taking a look at the situation in Jerusalem and the south of Israel, as there has been an escalation in tension and in violence over the last couple of days. We do appeal to you, if you are watching this, whether it is on Facebook or on YouTube, to please share this video. A lot of the international mainstream media is not covering the facts on the ground or the Israeli side of these issues, and it would be really appreciated if you could be the voice for Israel and the voice for balance and truth, and get this out there. The facts do matter. The truth is important. So please be our partners in helping to tell the truth. Today is Jerusalem Day, Yom Yerushalayim. It is a day that signifies the reunification of the city of Jerusalem after the Six-Day War. Jerusalem prior to that was a divided city, and parts of it were occupied by the Jordanians. Now today is supposed to be a day of great celebration, and normally what happens is a parade of flags throughout parts of the city, starting at the old city where people wave the Israeli flags. We are joined by organizations, many Christian communities from all over the world. And of course, last year, this did not go ahead because of the global pandemic. And this year it was scheduled to go ahead. Today, Israeli police have said it will still happen, albeit with a very different route. So what has been happening in Jerusalem? We'll look at Jerusalem and then we'll look at the situation in the south. Over the last couple of weeks, there has been a lot of discussion and controversy and coverage in the mainstream media over the neighborhood of Sheikh Jarrah, or Shimon HaTzedek as it is known in Hebrew. The controversy is over certain homes that are inhabited by Palestinians who have been warned of eviction. Now, the mainstream media and those who are anti-Israel are playing this out as though Israel is claiming back these properties and kicking Palestinians out. Of course, this is a lot more complicated than we are seeing in the news, and there has been a lot of international condemnation without examining the facts on the ground. First of all, this is not a government issue. This is a private matter. It is not a case of land apartheid, as accusations from South Africa are saying. This is a legal situation that has to be dealt with through the Israeli courts, and not by the government and not by the IDF. What has happened is that the homes that are inhabited by the Palestinians have belonged to Jewish owners for decades. However, the Palestinian inhabitants have not paid rent. One of the solutions put forward to this is the option to pay rent. Some of the Palestinians living in these homes have also done major alterations to these homes without being the legal or legally documented owners. Now, it is a complicated case because Palestinians have lived in these properties for several decades. Yesterday, Israel's Supreme Court, which is due to hear arguments from both sides about the properties, have suspended their decision for the next couple of days. This has already gone through the Jerusalem District Court and is now escalated to the Supreme Court. Israel's government said they will not comment on this and not get involved in this because it is a legal matter. One of the options put forward to the Palestinians is the option to pay rent, however they have declined. This has been used to heavily politicize an agenda being pushed by Iran, being pushed by the Muslim Brotherhood, and being pushed by Hamas. It is the narrative that we are taking the land of Palestinians in order to settle. On the background of this, we've had the end of Ramadan, which took place on Saturday night, which marked the evening in the Muslim calendar when Muhammad ascended to heaven. So there was a lot of worshippers on the Temple Mount, which is where the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is where this event is said to have taken place. They went to commemorate this. What broke out on Saturday were violent protests and riots against Israeli police. Israeli police have not stormed the Al-Aqsa Mosque. I'm going to say that again. Israeli police have not stormed the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Israeli police have tried to stop the violent riots and protests, which put people on both sides at extreme risks. You can see images coming from inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque that cinder blocks, boulders and rocks have been stockpiled within the mosque. This is a holy place, and according to many more moderate Muslims, putting rocks, putting boulders, putting cinder blocks, putting weapons inside the Al-Aqsa defiles it as a holy place. And this is at the background of cries of bomb, bomb Tel Aviv, and with our bodies and our blood we will redeem Jerusalem. Our Defense Minister Benny Gantz, our Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have reiterated again and again and again over the last couple of days that Israel will do everything in our power to preserve the freedom of religion in the city of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a holy city to the three Abrahamic religions, Islam, Christianity and Judaism. And the IDF announced yesterday that they will be sending extra battalions to East Jerusalem and parts of the West Bank as well to bolster security. This follows an attack on Friday, or at least a thwarted attack, where 3 men tried to open fire on an army base and were since neutralized. Now, earlier today, a Jewish man was almost lynched when Palestinians began to throw rocks at his car. He, speaking to Israeli Channel 12 News, said that they broke his window, they sprayed some kind of gas inside the car and tried to pull him out. You can see images circulating in the Hebrew media, on social media, of the victim with blood pouring from his head. He managed to take control of his car and ram it towards those throwing rocks. However, the media would have you believe that he randomly rammed his car into Palestinians. This is not the case. This follows another case coming in of a 7-month-old baby who at the moment is in Hadassah Hospital with wounds sustained to her head as a result of rocks being thrown at her parents' car. Palestinian Red Crescent are reporting that at least 285 Palestinians have been injured, 5 of them serious. So Jerusalem at the moment is very tense. There were reports earlier today that police managed to calm down the tensions on the Temple Mount. The Palestinian officials based in Ramallah said that they will respond by every means necessary, and protests have broken out amongst the Arab-Israeli community across the country in places like Haifa and others. So a very, very tense situation at the moment. Now we are looking at this and wondering, did this happen because of Ramadan? Did this happen because there has been a postponement of the Palestinian elections by the Palestinian Authority, and Hamas are trying to take advantage of this? But there's no two ways about it. This is a very, very well coordinated strategy, which of course is backed by Iran. In tandem to this, we have also had an escalation in the south. In the last few days, there have been at least 40 fires as a result of arson balloons and incendiary devices attached to balloons that have been flown from the Gaza Strip into Israeli territory, setting fire to valuable agricultural land. This is arson terrorism and is also environmental terrorism. Now, the UN Security Council have called for an emergency session to discuss the uptick in violence in Jerusalem. However, what should be firmly on their agenda is not only the violence in Jerusalem, which has been egged on by the incitement of violence, but also the environmental terrorism taking place in the south, burning agricultural land, and also the firing of rockets. Israelis in the south have endured at least 3 big barrages of rockets fired from the Strip into Israel. The latest barrage, which took place the early hours of this morning, some of those rockets landed inside the Gaza Strip, which endangers the lives of Palestinians as well. So the situation in Israel at the moment, in Jerusalem and in the south, is tense. We have seen an escalation. We are hoping for calm. We are appealing for calm, especially as Israel is getting ready to open up more and more to incoming groups later this month. To echo our many Christian supporters, we urge you all to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Today is Jerusalem Day. Jerusalem is a city we all hold close to our hearts. And again, just a reminder to please share this content. And another reminder that if you are looking for content brought to you from Lay of the Land, our website is www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook page is @LottleSite. Please like it, please follow it, please invite your friends to and share our content. Our Twitter handle is @LayOfTheLand5. That's @LayOfTheLand with the digit 5. Our YouTube channel is The Israel Brief. It's @The Israel Brief. Please click on the red subscribe button and you'll be notified every time we post a brief. So from Modi'in, which is dead center between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for being our partners in the truth. I'm Rolene Marks. This is The Israel Brief. We'll speak to you again tomorrow.